whoever made the decision to start putting the Hellcat engine into a bunch of different vehicles is one of my favorite people because it is an awesome recipe. When the Hellcat first came out, it was a pretty big deal. You were getting 700 horsepower in an American muscle car. Before that, you had to spend like deep into the six figures on a Lamborghini or Ferrari to get 700 horsepower. And since then, that Hellcat engine has spread across the lineup. The Challenger and Chargers have been wide-bodied. They've gotten the red-eye treatment, making almost 800 horsepower. You had the Demon. The Jeep Grand Cherokee got the Trackhawk treatment with the Hellcat engine. Last week, we were driving the world's most powerful SUV, the Dodge Durango Hellcat, that would do 180 miles an hour. But out of all of them, I think the most extreme and the most awesome might be this, the 2021 Ram 1500 TRX. The TRX has that 6.2-liter supercharged V8. It's not branded Hellcat, but it's essentially the Hellcat engine, making 702 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. That is a 700 horsepower pickup truck. It's made it to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission that's been beefed up to handle all that torque, all that power. It can still tow 8,100 pounds. Four-wheel drive, you get four-wheel auto, high and low, but no pure rear-wheel drive mode. 0 to 60 is claimed in 4.5 seconds, up to a top speed of 118 miles an hour, mainly limited to probably the tires and the fact that, look at the thing. But 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and a truck that weighs almost 6,500 pounds is pretty hysterical. The things that have been done to this truck are extensive. It's more than just taking that engine and dropping it into a Ram 1500. It is way more extreme, very well engineered, and today we're going to see what it's like. In terms of exterior styling, the TRX is significantly different from the regular Ram 1500s, even the Ram Rebel, which is the most off-road oriented one. The only similarity shared there is kind of this open airflow grille. It's blacked out with the open Ram lettering. A lot of airflow to feed that hungry engine. This functional hood scoop here, which can consume up to 32.9 liters of air per minute. Not really sure how much that is, but I assume it is a lot. Blacked out up front, the upgraded headlights that are shared with the Ram 1500 Limited and the Larrabee Longhorn. They're thinner, longer, these nice LED daytime running lights. And this whole thing is so much wider. Look at the widened fenders to the right of the headlight, to the left of the headlight. It's like something like 8 inches wider than a regular Ram 1500. I parked it next to my 1500 Laramie, which is a pretty big truck. And next to the TRX, it looked like a little toy. This thing is more extreme and aggressive and angry in every way. Huge 35-inch tires developed specifically for this TRX. And then the hood, it's so just intense in every single way. You get the 6.2-liter supercharged badges on the side. Around back, you have the massive exhaust tips. This one has the ram bar and some other Mopar accessories. You see the lights up there. Another wheel, full-size wheel mounted in the bed and just widened. The presence is intense. The presence on the road and the parking lot, it's just monstrous. It is enormous and it's angry. All right, inside the TRX now. The one we've been driving is a TRX Level 2 interior group, so pretty well optioned with some nice trim. We have the carbon fiber pack too, so real carbon fiber across the dash, on the steering wheel, on the door accents there. We have a different flat bottom steering wheel with a combination of leather and suede and new paddle shifters that are actually metal for the TRX here. They have to make this kind of weird U shape around the steering wheel buttons on the back, but I think I like them more than the little tiny vestigial ones that are in some of the other Hellcats, like the Durango we were just driving. Same center cluster here, digital with analog tachometer and speedometer on either side. And then on the center, we have the big Uconnect screen, the vertical-oriented one that brings you all your infotainment, Apple CarPlay. We've currently got the TRX page pulled up, which gives you your different drive modes. We have, hey, a Raptor just drove by. Hello. We've got Sport, Tow, Snow. I'm in Auto right now. You can custom, Mud and Sand, Rock, and Baja. When you change modes with the buttons that are on the dash right here. The center screen will give you a little animation too, which is pretty cool, a nice little touch. What I will do is, I don't need rock, I don't need Baja, I don't need to be in 4 low. I want sport mode. See, it's easier just to go through the button on a screen. Sport mode is more street oriented. Oh my, the shift's definitely sped up in sport mode. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Other interior things have a plaque on the center console area that says TRX, of things like the VIN, the engine, power, things like that. What else around here? Harman Kardon sound system. It's like a 900 watt, 19 speaker upgraded Harman Kardon system. Some nice luxury and tech features, heated steering wheel, heated seats. So this by no means is like a stripped out race truck. This is full out luxury and all the performance. It has everything that my Ram Laramie has, made more sporty and way more extreme. The most important thing about the TRX is going to be, what is it like to drive? And I'm happy to say, there's a reason why I've been averaging 9 miles per gallon, because this thing is hysterical. This thing is definitely fast. It is hilarious. Not quite as fast as something like a Durango Hellcat or Track Hawk, because it is so much bigger. But at its core, this thing was built to be a Baja truck, something that can do off-road extreme environments. It has a Baja mode. And to accomplish that, there was a lot of work put into the TRX to strengthen the frame. This is pretty much like the heavy-duty truck hybridized onto the regular 1500 to strengthen everything so it can handle the punishment, handle the power and torque. We have 2.5-inch Bilstein shocks developed for the TRX that react really quickly. They're like the Black Hawk E2 shocks. You can see them behind these giant 35-inch specially developed Goodyear Wrangler tires for the TRX that allow it to go through all sorts of terrain, but actually on the road noise isn't terrible, and it definitely means it can handle everything. 18-inch beadlock capable aluminum wheels on this thing, the largest front brakes, 15-inch in the segment. It's not just 700 horsepower dropped into a Ram. The front axle was shifted 20 millimeters forward. There's a lot changed. So honestly, this compared to like my Ram 1500 Laramie, they really aren't that related anymore. They're not similar at all, beyond the fact that they're still both Ram 1500s. What? In sport mode, the paddle shifters will give you pretty quick upshifts and downshifts. This 8-speed ZF is pretty good. The only edge I think I can say the Raptor still has is the 10-speed might shift a little bit quicker, but in sport mode, this thing is plenty. And then the power, it's overwhelming. You cannot even remotely compare the power, the sound, the experience. It's not fair. The 3.5 EcoBoost in the Raptor cannot quite compete. It's not really fair. That thing makes 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. This makes 702 and 650 pound-feet of torque. We also have launch control, so we're at a light. Oh my gosh. It's a truck with launch control. So Ram, when this thing was debuted, they claimed 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which is what I said earlier. In my time with this truck and driving it, I'm scrolling over to the launch control timer, a lot of screens, trip info. Yes, whoa, 7.8 mpg over the last 70 miles I've been driving it. Performance, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. That was just a 4.3 and it just spun off the line. So I've done a 3.9 was the best when actually sort of hooked. And again, it's cold and miserable outside. It's winter, so it's like 30 degrees. This doesn't make any sense. A couple other things that I forgot to mention about the interior. We have a large heads-up display here. I don't think that was even available on my Ram 1500 when I was optioning it. The other big change, no longer rotary transmission dial here, because we have the TRX buttons here, the mode and the launch control button. We have a conventional transmission shifter. It's the actual handle, and you go through, which means the center console is redesigned here. We still have the wireless charging pads and the cup holders here, but it no longer slides back and forth, so that's a change from the regular Ram 1500. Otherwise, size, when you option up like this, the trim is very nice. Leather, carbon fiber is suede. The seats are very comfortable. They seem to be a little more bolstered than the regular Ram 1500 seats that I have in mine. I think this is also now a digital display mirror. Yep. This truck is a cool blend of the comfort and luxury features. We have adaptive cruise control, heated cool seats, heated steering wheel with the off-road capability. 13 inches, 14 inches of suspension travel. Launch control. Launch control, I was interrupted by that. 32 inches of water fording depth, almost a foot of ground clearance. This will handle everything you throw at it. And when you're on the street, will put a massive smile on your face. I mean, more than a smile, a grin on your face, a ludicrous grin, because it's so absurd. It is hugely wide. You saw those running lights up front, the little 3 in the front intake, and then also 3 in the back underneath the bed. It's because this thing is massively wide. It is so tall. Everything else around you looks tiny. Even other full-size SUVs and pickups, you're looking down at them because the TRX is just so much more massive. It is hilarious, and I think it's great that Ram decided to make this because it's so extreme, it's actually forcing Ford to go do something with the Raptor. Now, we're talking about the current Raptor because the next gen has not been announced yet. By the time this video posts, it may have been announced, but while I'm driving this right now, I can't go into the future. So no news on the next gen Raptor, but compared to the current, it didn't really have a competitor. And then the TRX came out and kind of took all its lunch money because it makes 700 horsepower and is way more extreme and more capable. So we'll see what the new Raptor does. This is also a bit more expensive, so we can talk about value. The TRX, as optioned here, very well optioned version, is just under $90,000, and this is with everything. The level 2 package, the carbon fiber trim, we've got some Mopar accessories with the ram bar back there, and then the mounting for another wheel and tire in the bed, and the rock rails and things like that. So just under $90,000 is a lot more than even a fully loaded Raptor, but in its current form compared to a Raptor, it is way more truck. It is way more fun. It is way more hysterical. Just that supercharger wide. Oh. Oh yeah. You will have to budget a lot for fuel, though. MPG is dropping to average of 9. 9, that's single digits. This thing is so different from my Ram 1500 Laramie. The personalities are not even remotely close. I chose a truck because I wanted a more practical daily driver, something that could handle the punishing Midwest winters and just not worry about the roads. And the Laramie was the luxurious option. I could have got something like a Rebel that had more off-road credentials, but I wanted the comfort. I wanted the air suspension. I wanted the luxury features. The TRX takes that and then kind of blends it with the Rebel with the off-road abilities without compromising that comfort and usability, and then just takes the dial and turns it to like 25 on a scale of 1 to 10 by dropping a supercharged 700 horsepower V8 into it. It is a true monster. Does it make any sense? Not really. If you try to apply logic to this truck, you're like, huh? How many people are going to actually take it to the Baja 1000 or something? Probably not a ton. Is it practical for daily use? Not really. It doesn't fit in garages, doesn't fit in parking spaces. It gets abysmal fuel economy. But when you bury your right foot or you see it parked in a parking lot towering above everything else in there, you just kind of go, oh man, this thing was so worth it. Oh, I hope you guys can hear the supercharger whine through this microphone. Oh man. Thank you so much to Ram and FCA/Stellantis for making this amazing vehicle, this ridiculous, hilarious, nonsensical, monstrous pickup truck. I'm really interested to see what Ford Performance will do with the next generation Raptor, because I feel like they need to do something to go up against the TRX, because in the world of high performance off-road trucks, the Raptor was the predominant one. It was pretty much the one that owned the marketplace, and then Ram came out with this, and everybody with the Ford EcoBoost powered Raptor was like, oh wait, I make 200 less horsepower than that. What's going on here? Supercharged V8s won't be around for long, but while they are, let's enjoy them. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you check out the more behind the scenes living with a TRX vlog, showing you some of the other aspects of spending a week with a 700 horsepower Ram. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching.